I have the Jets making a trade with the Seahawks and the Bears, actually a 3-team deal to send Russell Wilson to the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks that are going to take Zach Wilson.
Wow. That is bombshell there, man. What's the I mean, obviously all the talk and smoke has been this offseason about Russell Wilson wanting out, but I mean, what lends you to think that it's going to be something that could happen?
Just kind of reading the tea leaves as far as like different reporters. This all kind of came out with Russell Wilson at the Super Bowl, just looking like pretty unhappy. He then, story emerged in The Athletic where he suggested to the Seahawks coaching staff some changes that they could implement to help their offense, and they just kind of brushed him off, and he like stormed out of the room. And then Schefter and Rappaport both have kind of doubled down and being like, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Wilson is traded. We look at the Seahawks. The Seahawks have like a pretty clear model. Their GM, John Schneider, he has some great hits. Like they selected Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. They got DK Metcalf in the 2nd round, like great picks. But they also whiff on a ton of guys. And they are a team that loves to accumulate picks. I mean, the fact of the matter is the draft is a 50-50 proposition. Like if you get half your picks right and they're solid players, then that's a good draft. Like if you come out of the draft with 3 starters, that is a great draft. The Seahawks have 3 picks this year. So for a team that loves volume and, knowing that they're only going to get, basically 1 to 2 guys in this draft with how they currently are stacked up, I can see them wanting more picks. And right now, the way both their division is stacked and the way their team looks, they're a team that doesn't have like an edge rusher. Chris Carson, they just re-signed, who's, an okay back that has fumbling problems. They have a good receiving core. Russell Wilson's good, but their offensive line still stinks outside of Dwayne Brown. So this is a move. I think we're really going to start to see some momentum pile up for this because Zach Wilson, the quarterback out of BYU, his pro day is Friday. And at the most recent big quarterback pro day, Trey Lance, I think there were 5 or 6 teams that were there, and one of them was the Seahawks. And the Seahawks don't have a first-round pick. So they're at least doing their due diligence and taking a look at these quarterbacks. And I think Zach Wilson is going to be a really good fit for what he can do. He's a mobile guy with a really strong arm. He has, and I don't want to get crushed for this, but he has Mahomes-like qualities. I think I put it out in a tweet that he's not if Mahomes is Steph Curry, he's like Trae Young. He can do some of those things. He's definitely not the same guy and have to fall into a perfect situation for it to work out. But I think this is a move where Seattle could look at it and kind of hit the reset button on their franchise. With the trade, Seattle would send Russell Wilson to the Jets. The Jets would send their 2nd pick, their other first rounder, which is 23 overall, a 2022 first, and a 2022 second to Seattle. The Jets would also send Sam Darnold to Chicago, and Chicago would send the number 20 overall pick to Seattle. So Seattle would then have 3 first-round picks this year, and then they would get an additional first-round pick and second-round pick next year.
Wow. So with all of that, Chicago, still all our Chicago guys still getting screwed. No, they get.
I actually think if this worked out like this, I propose, I think that actually works out for the Bears because they would move down essentially. Chicago would get the 34th overall pick. So the Jets' second rounder. It's the 2nd pick of that round. So the Bears would move down 14 spots, and they would get a quarterback with some promise in Sam Darnold. The Jets would obviously get to reset with Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks would get to reset with Zach Wilson. I think when we look at the quarterbacks, when Schefter put out that tweet about whatever it was, 17, 18 teams could have new quarterbacks. It's a game of musical chairs, and I think this at least fits where 3 teams could get those needs filled.